What's up, y'all? Welcome to the first ever episode of the Underrated Conversations podcast. Man, I'm super excited to be doing this. It's been something I've wanted to do for a while, and I'm glad I am here. For those who don't know, my name is Isaac Suffering. I am an entrepreneur. I trade in the stock market, and I'm a former D1 basketball player. I played at Lafayette College and Howard University before I dropped out and decided to trade full time in the market. And I'm super blessed to be where I am right now. I do not take any of it for granted. I'm 22 years old, and I'm super excited to be doing this. You may think like, yo, this is going to be a stock market podcast, finance, whatever. Yeah, we'll talk about that some, but this really isn't going to be just about that, right? Like I said, I'm 22, but I'm not going to sit up here and try to act perfect like I'm Mr. Perfect. I have so much of this life advice to give you. I think I have a very unique perspective on life, and I think that a lot of people will find value in what I have to say. But like I said, I'm not here to be perfect. I'm not here to um, act like I'm a life coach because, in my opinion, based on what I've seen the past 2 years, just in my own life experience, there can't be any such thing as a 20 something year old life coach. There's too much life that we have to learn. But like I said, maybe you have a very, very unique experience. I don't know, but it's gonna be real, man. It's gonna be authentic. It's gonna be fun, and that brings us to our first episode, which is growth in a new era. And you may be like, yo, what are you talking about exactly? Well, you know, it's that past 2.5 years have been really different, y'all, especially when it comes to social media, right? You have, 2020, we had the shutdowns, and then we went into, this social media era where I think, in my opinion, social media was taken a lot more seriously. And that's because that's the only way people could connect with each other, right? That's where businesses emerge. That's where personal brands started to emerge. And with that, I think came a whole new set of problems, especially for people my age. And, I don't really see anybody else talking about this specific thing, but let's talk about it. And then, like I said, I'm going to be talking from my experience. I'm going to keep it real, super authentic with you guys. I'm not trying to, you know, change, whatever. I'm really just trying to be me and offer what I have to say. And I think you guys will find value in it. So what do I mean? Like, what are the problems I'm talking about? Well, I think in order for me to go into that, I really got to tell you some of my background, right? So my whole life, it's been centered around basketball, literally my whole entire life. And with that comes, November, December, January, February, March, you are in your high school season, right? Or whatever season you're in. You're in your high school season. Let's assume I'm just talking about high school here. And then, April, May, June, July, you're in AU, first session, second session, you got Nike camps, Adidas, Under Armour, depending on which circuit you play for. And then towards the end of summer, you're back with your high school team. And then you go into the fall, you have preseason, and then you go into your actual season, and then you rinse and repeat. And you do that continuously. You're playing year round. And throughout your whole, I guess, every single day of your life, every single time you hit the gym, every week, every month, you are in this competitive nature. You're trying to be better than the next guy, right? That's it. You're trying to be better than the next guy. This is a sport. Whether it's your teammate, whether it's a guy on another team, you want to be the best. And it's really easy to tell who's the best, right? You got your numbers. What are your percentages? How much are you averaging? How do you impact the game, right? What is your win-loss, right? How are you helping your team, right? There's a lot of ways to measure who's the best. And when I left Howard, right, to trade full-time in the market and really start my whole social media presence thing and really take it seriously, I kind of stepped out with that same mindset, right, of being always competitive. But that's where I went wrong, right? And I think a lot of people have this problem, especially my age, and maybe older too, because, there is no limit on the age range of who's on social media. So I think this can apply to everybody. But me specifically, I try to come into the social media world really competitive because I want to be the best. I want to be hands down, I want to be the best. That's it. There's really nothing else to say about it. My business, I want my business to be the best. For those of you who know my business, you know, uh, I created Blueprint, and we're a trading group. We do a lot of stuff in the stock market, education, and you know, I want to be the best trading group on the planet, hands down. When people think trading group, who should I go to? I think Blueprint. I want Blueprint to be that. I want anybody connected to Blueprint. I want them to be the best with me, because if in order for Blueprint to be the best, I need them to be the best as well. So for those of you who know who are in my trading group, I need Asha to be the best. I need Jay to be the best. I need Sean to be the best. Even people behind the scenes, I need Daniel to be the best. I need Abby to be the best, right? I need Jordan to be the best, right? I need us all to be the best, because I have a goal of being the best, and that's it. That's all there is to it. And that's kind of the same mentality I had with in school, when I was playing school ball, college, high schools, whatever. Wasn't nobody better than me. No, you can't guard me. Nobody, absolutely nobody. I don't think so. I know so. There's only one person, and I mean one person, who I had the. I mean, it was the only person that still to this day, I can say the only person who could guard me, and he had some trouble. But he's the only dog I know that can really stay in front of me, and that's my boy Jelly. No gel. He played at Purdue, transferred to Howard, and then he left. Pursuing professional ball right now. Shout out to him. But that's really the only person. Other than that, wasn't nobody touching me. Wasn't nobody touching me. And I know I'm gonna get some texts when this episode releases, but wasn't nobody touching me. Nobody. And that's just the way it was. Right? That mentality came from, my uncle, right? Because, my mother raised me single mother, did an excellent job because she's amazing, but that competitive nature I got from my uncles, Uncle Hughes, Uncle Adrian, those were dogs. Just like, yo, you can't stop me. And that's kind of the mentality I took from them. So I took that from Howard, or I took that from high school to college and then into the real world. But where I went where my fault was, is that what I thought was competitiveness was really comparison, insecurity, and jealousy. What I thought was competition was insecurity, comparison, and jealousy. That's what I thought that's what it really was. And, I didn't realize it until my mental was really in a bad place. And you never know it, because I'm not one to show emotion. Right, I'm not one to show emotion. Like I said, I grew up in a single parent household. My mother, she is actually a college WNBA. She does some NBA stuff as well in terms of summer league. She's a referee, right? So she does a lot of stuff in regards to that. So she was gone a lot. I was home alone a lot. I grew up rather independent, but don't think I was like fending for myself. Like, no, my mother did a great job taking care of me and stuff. But for the most part, as I got older, I was spending a lot more time by myself. So naturally, I was, always internalizing things. I don't really talk about stuff as much. I try more, with Shantae, my wife, if you don't know. But I try to talk more, not naturally internalize like I've been doing pretty much a lot of my life. Just because I was always by myself. So it's not like I was always speaking out. I was used to being quiet. But, it took a lot of self-reflection to realize that, yo, bro, you're not competitive. You're insecure. You are jealous, and you are comparing yourself to these people. And I had to think about, like, yo, why? I'd never done that before, right? In high school, I didn't really watch other guys, and I didn't get jealous about who had what offers, or to different schools. I never got envious about who got what recognition, because I knew that you put the work in, you're gonna get the shine, right? You're gonna get your shine. You put the work in, you'll get your shine. Especially in the era of Ball is Live, Hoop Mixtape, and all those guys. Like, somebody's gonna find elite mixtapes, right? I was never that guy, right? If there was comparison in basketball, it came with, yo, all right, this dude's shooting 36% from three. All right, I'm trying to be the best shooter on the team. I need to be shooting, 38, 39, 40. You know what I mean? Or this guy, he has this many steals, blocks, charges, 50-50 balls a game. I need to be doing better than him. right? And that never came from a bad place. We're on the same team. We're trying to eat, right? We're trying to win championships, do what we got to do. We're trying to win games, but I'm still trying to be the top dog on the team, and nothing's wrong with that. That's only going to push you to be better. It's only going to push your teammate to be better. But in the social media world, it's completely different because you don't know what's real. You don't know what's fake. You don't know how people are feeling. You don't know what's happening in the background. You don't know anything, right? You know, when you play for a basketball team, especially college ball, you're in the gym every single day, right? Every now and then you have a day off, but you're putting 40 hours a week in the gym. And I'm not kidding. You're in probably more, you know, coaches not following no NCAA rules, but you're putting work in the gym. You're seeing these guys. You know what everybody's going through. Everybody's going through similar things. Everybody's beat up. Everybody's physically tired. Everybody's fatigued mentally. Everything. You're going to battle with these guys every single day. Coaches are yelling. Coaches are cussing at you. Coaches are pushing you, right? You know what's real. You know what the other guy's strengths and weaknesses are, right? There's no, you can't hide. You spend that much time with somebody, you go through all that adversity with somebody or with a group of guys, then you're gonna know what's real and what's not, right? There is no hiding in that, right? You're going to be exposed to whatever your weaknesses are. But with social media, you can't do that, man, because you don't know what people look like off social media. But that's where I failed. I went into the social media game trying to be better than everybody else, and that drove me in I won't say depression, like no, like I wasn't depressed, but I had such internal conflict with myself, right? I started to think I wasn't good enough. I started trying to be like everybody else, right? I want to be like this guy. I want to be like her. I want to be like him because I'm seeing what they're doing. Like, look how many likes he gets. Look how many followers he has or she has. Look at the comments. Look at the opportunities this person's getting. Look at the podcast this person was on. Look at look at the car. Look at the money, look at that, look at the clothes they're wearing, look everything, right? Everything started being a comparison game because in college or in high school, whatever, that comparison was okay but it was a completely different situation. When I started that comparison thing, I started trying to be these people, right? I started trying to be him. I started trying to be her, and it was like, it was stressful, man. It is always stressful trying to be somebody you're not because it's not natural. You have to be naturally you. Whatever that is, you have to be authentically you. And it's tough. I won't say it's easy because in this social media world, like I said, you don't know what's real, you don't know what's fake. But at the same time, in the mentality where you're trying to be the best, it's hard not to look at other people and try to outdo them. I want to do what they do better than they do it because I want to be the best at this. You know what I mean? But that's not fair and it's not realistic, right? You start to create stress. You start to create a lot of pressure on yourself. That's not fair. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to them. And it's not going to be fair to whatever you're trying to build, right? You got to be authentic, man. And that's why I put on this when I came on started this podcast, I said, I'm going to be me 100%. What you see right here, this is who I am, right? A lot of stuff, you probably, if you've been following me for a while, a lot of the stuff you've seen, or not a lot, but some of the stuff you've seen, you might have seen me change my style all of a sudden, right? It was if I'm being 100% real, like I said, it was a mixture of so many different people, but none of it was Isaac suffering. And that's kind of something that I had to work on myself. And I'm still working on it because I'm not perfect. Like I said, I'm 22 years old. I'm still there's still mental battles that I face, but I'm a hell of a lot further and a hell of a lot better than where I was before. And a part of that progress comes with not giving a shit about what anybody else thinks. You cannot care. You cannot care because that is so crippling and it's so limiting, right? Caring about what everybody else thinks. And that eventually leads you into trying to be like everybody else because you see the results other people are getting and you think I got to do what they're doing if I want to get the results I want to get. That's not true, man. Because, what I failed to realize is that, it's not basketball. In basketball, you see somebody's percentage and it's their percentage, right? You need to get in the gym and work and working your jumper if you want to try to get better percentages. But copying somebody's style, trying to be like somebody else, isn't the recipe to eventually surpass that person. For example, if you're trying to shoot better than somebody else in basketball, you don't necessarily try to steal the way they shoot the ball, meaning like your form, right? The way you actually raise up, elevate, follow through with your shot. You're not trying to copy them, to the T. You're not trying to be them and have their jumper, right? The way you become a better shooter is to perfect your own shot. You have a shot, now you need to shoot game shots every single day, 1,000 makes a day, and you need to be consistent with your form. That's the part that I didn't take with me into this whole thing. I didn't take that consistency. I didn't take that working on my own shot with me. I tried to work on everybody else's shot. I tried, if she shot like that, I'm trying to shoot like her. If he shot like that, I'm trying to shoot like him, right? Imagine anybody in the league who tried to shoot like Steph Curry. Right? Steph Curry has been working on his exact form for years. Right? He's perfected it along the way, but that is his form. You cannot change the way, like he's not going to change the way he shoots because he's worked on that. He's been consistent with that. He's been locked in with that. He knows who he is as a player, and he's going to shoot like that. That's the way he shoots. That's the way he elevates. That's the way he follow throughs. Everything. If I want to be on a level where I can shoot as good as Steph, or I can be on the level where I'm recognized on the same platforms like as a man like Steph, then I have to work on my own shot, right? I have to work on being consistent with my own jumper because there'll never be another Steph, just like there'll never be another you, right? And as long as you're trying to mimic other people and post like them, dress like them, talk like them, walk like them, it'll never work out, right? I tried to steal other people's content. I tried to not steal, but like copy, do what they do, other people's content. I'm trying to talk like them, make videos like them. But it was never good enough because it wasn't them. It didn't feel right because it wasn't. I didn't feel like that was what they got successful doing, and I knew that it wasn't me, right? So I really had to come to terms with that, man, and I can't stress it enough. You can't care what people think, because ultimately, when you care what people think, that leads you to not being yourself. Honestly. And I can only say that because I did it. Like 100%. I was that guy. You got 1 million followers. You're living a life that's cool. Like that's what I want to do. But at the same time, you know what else I forgot to mention? Was that not only was I trying to be like them because I saw the results, I never considered where they started. Right? Because right now, you go on somebody who has 1 million followers or 500,000 followers or 100,000 followers, you know what you see? You see all the likes, all the comments, all the supporters, right? You see all the stuff they've been able to accomplish, but you never for once stop and think how hard they had to work to get where they are now. What pieces did they have to put together to get to where they are right now? Nobody considers the journey, but they only consider what the destination is or where people at on their journey, on their specific journey, right? Because all you can think of is where you're at versus where they're at, right? Think about like a video game, like, right? When you're on a video game, everybody starts at level 1, right? But if I got the game or somebody else got the game a year before I got the game, by the time I start playing the game at level 1, they may be at level 100. And then I'm trying to be like them, but I haven't gone through level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yet. But I'm trying to be like, buddy on level 100 right now, right? That's how I kind of approached everything. And that's why I said, that's why the name of this podcast is Growth in a New Era, right? We're in the era of social media. And a lot of people say, I'm going to take a social media cleanse. Yeah, I don't like all the toxicity. I don't like all the, comparison and this, that, and the third. Here's why I don't believe in the social media cleanse crap. Yeah, it's good to get away, if you want to. But let me tell you this. If you have problems with jealousy, you're envious, you have this comparison thing where you try to be like everybody else, or you compare somebody else to yourself and you judge, or you're judging yourself based on what other people are doing. A social media cleanse is not going to fix that, because as soon as you come back on social media, you're going to have the same issues. You didn't handle those issues. What I realized I had to do, I had to face the issues head on, right? I had to work on my mindset, work on my mental. Isaac, why are you feeling this way? No, this is how you need to think about things. You need to worry about yourself. You need to work on building mental discipline, or what my man David Goggins says, you need to build mental callous, right? And the only way you build mental callous, mental discipline is to put your mental in situations where it's forced to, in uncomfortable situations, and you force yourself to make the right outcome. What does that look like? If I'm making a piece of content and I'm worried about I'm worried about what people will think, that's the piece of content I need to post. Even if it's actually legitimate, just a bad piece of content, that's the content I need to post, because eventually I'll get to a point, if I keep doing that, I'm going to become more of myself, right? I'm going to be me over and over and over again, to the point where it's second nature. A lot of people, they have to force themselves to be themselves, or it's really hard to be themselves because they're so worried about judgment. They're so worried about what other people may think. No, I'm going to force myself to be uncomfortable, right? I'm going to make sure I check myself if I think I'm comparing myself to somebody else, right? I won't unfollow them. No, don't unfollow them. See what they're doing and be like, good for them. That's awesome. But you know what? I'm more worried about myself right now. I'm more worried about my progress. You know what? They probably worked super hard for that, for whatever they have right now. Cool. Even if they didn't, you know what? Whatever they got going on, how is that helping you right now in your journey? If it's not, you need to keep on going, right? Or maybe change your mental. You know what? I should be inspired by this guy. I should be inspired by this girl, this man, this woman, whatever. I should be able to, learn from them, but don't ever try to be them, And it's an ongoing battle. Like for me, I'm still trying to be a master of my mind, right? I'm still purposely trying to put my mind in uncomfortable situations and practice making the right right decision out of that uncomfortable situation, right? So that's really where I'm at right now, right? Episode 1, growth in a new era. That's where we're at right now, man. It's tough. Mental toughness is not easy. Mental discipline is not easy. I am not claiming to be a mastermind of mental toughness or mental callous like my man David Goggins. You want to see somebody who's locked in mentally? I'm talking about probably the toughest dude in the entire world, David Goggins. Look him up. Read his book, Can't Hurt Me. Hell of a book. Hell of a guy. But yeah, man, be yourself. Don't compare, right? You can appreciate somebody else, but don't ever try to be them. Who cares about anybody else? Who cares what you think? You leave a nasty comment, I don't care. You can just get blocked. Your comment can get deleted, right? I don't care if you think it's stupid. I don't care if you don't think it's funny. I don't care if you think it's not relevant, right? Unfollow me, because eventually I'll get the right audience eventually, as long as I stay consistent, right? Be yourself consistently. Right? I'm not just talking about social media, anything at all. If you want to, in the workplace, or if you want to, in athletics, sports, whatever it is, be yourself, man. Don't let nobody take your shine. Your journey should be the most important thing in your mind. That's it. Your journey. And that's really all I got for this episode, man. So if you enjoyed this, man, please like and subscribe. I got a lot more stuff coming for you. I'm going to have interviews and a lot of good stuff in the future. But for now, that's what I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And that's the first ever episode of Underrated Conversations. See y'all later.